Hi, welcome back to my channel, Manga Hoarder. My name is Laura, and today I'm working on my June bullet journal. And you know, this is the second video in this series. I'm going to continue making bullet journal videos as for the foreseeable future, as long as they continue to have a good response. This is something that I do in my personal life anyway, so I might as well film it. I don't need an audience though, so you know, if no one's watching, then I will just not make these videos. It's not a big deal. I like bullet journaling though, and I find it as a really good creative outlet for me. And I thought it's a nice thing to share because it is still very much a manga centric. Manga permeates every area of my life, including how I plan for my life. So I thought I might as well continue to share it here. So I'm just going to get going with planning out June. I do have more pages planned for next month than I did for May. But I am also not going to flip through May just because what you saw in that previous video is really what's there. There really wasn't a lot to fill in, and anything that I do fill in for May I will have a video for, so there isn't really much use in showing you. However, there's quite a lot of tracking and planning going on for June and for the summer. I do have some personal as well as YouTube plans for the summer, so probably in the months going forward I will probably have flip throughs from the previous month. It just doesn't make sense to do it this month. At any rate, I thought I would start out by showing you this notebook. I did show it to you in my I can't remember what I called it, Ultimate Summer TBR. This is Operation TBR, or I was calling it Project TBR, that I'm doing. So this is really all of the TBR that I'm planning for the summer. Just a way to really focus what it is I read. So I just have this little notebook I got from Michael's. It's quite small, as you can see, but I thought I might as well show it up close because it's not always easy to see things in my videos when I show them. So this is the first page, is my June to August TBR. I'm not expecting to read everything here. I also haven't erased the pencil yet. So this is really what we've got going. I've got just a list of titles to read, and next to each title I've got a start and a finish date. So really I'm just going to put a date in when and if I start any of these series and when I finish them. And there is some duplication in this book, so every once in a while I was smart enough to indicate it, but sometimes I was not. So these are all manga that I have bought in 2018? 2019? They've all, yeah, I think maybe just 2019. That is the wind. So these are all manga that I've bought in 2019, but I haven't started reading yet. So I thought that it would be good to include them and maybe read some of the newer titles in my collection, because I'm not always really good at getting to the new things. And then I've got my TBR for 12 and 12, so these were 12 titles that I wanted to read this year. I swapped out one title for Kazan because an online friend had suggested that I read it, and I have been meaning to get to it. So, and I have read a couple, so that's why there's not 12 there, but that's sort of what's remaining. And then we've got the titles that I picked for the challenge with my sister. So 1001 Comics, so these are all the books that we picked out. We actually only picked out 18 and there was one space remaining, so I did put down Naruto at the bottom because that is the long series that I am in the middle of, so I might as well try and finish at least one long series. There's a couple in that jar still. And then the Read Manga 19, these are prompts, so I've just got the prompt as well as the title that I've picked for it, but of course I can always change what prompt I choose. And a lot of these titles were picked off of the TBR. There's a TBR page here. So these are catch-up titles. So I went through my Goodreads and found anything that I started reading in 2016 and going forward that I haven't finished reading or haven't caught up to reading. So it's just a list of a couple of titles, well, quite a lot of titles. And then the pages that we missed were the Read Harder, which is in theory a more of a prose reading challenge that I'm trying to do, to read 24 novels or prose titles in the year. I think one of the challenges was to read a manga, so not all prose, and a couple are to read nonfiction, but those are ones that fit into categories that I want to read. And then I've picked, because I've got quite a few novels to read, particularly after that big haul, I've picked the ones that would fit, that were like my top, that would fit here on this page, as well as a couple of titles that I haven't quite finished reading, like 10 in a Wildfell Hall, I'm about halfway through. East of Eden, I'm like 3/4 the way through. Guess Cat, I'm, about a third of the way through. And yeah, so those are ones that I want to get to probably the most soon, or I think I would enjoy probably this summer. I do have a few more, but my TBR isn't actually much bigger than this. I wouldn't say it's more than twice this size, which I think is actually pretty good for someone who has a lot of reading to do. So that's that. And then I do have some pages just for the month, and this is where I was going to put down readathons that were happening and whether or not like I had books to fit in, because I'm going to try and do readathons only if they fit into books that I'm already planning on reading. But knowing me, I am going to read other things. It's just that if I'm going to do more challenges, they have to help with this, because they do sidetrack me. And then I missed, hadn't left a good page, but the Read Manga 19, I forgot that part of that challenge is to read something that starts with every letter of the alphabet. So these are the letters I picked, and as well as the titles. And then I've got nothing else, but I am going to be putting in stats. So every month I will start stats and how many books I read in a month or how many books I read in a week. I haven't quite decided what the stats will look like yet. Maybe how many pages I read. So I've got a little bit of space, and I suspect that I will use some of this space to just take notes on some of the books that I am reading. So I can talk about them later, because as we know from our latest wrap-up videos, I have been forgetting titles. And then I've just got some big Cheese Sweet Home stickers, which are very cute. So that's that notebook. So that's what I'm doing right now. I am kind of tempted to buy more notebooks from Michael's, because it was like $1, maybe $2, and I really like how cute and small it is. Like it's not even as big as the laced one. So at any rate, so that works out. That's very summery as well. So now I'm going to work on my bullet journal again, and if you want to see what my previous pages look like, I definitely would go and check out that previous video. So I guess before I get going, I should probably share the theme with you. So I have chosen these washi tapes. You saw them already, but they're kind of browns, greens, and pinks, or kind of neutral, natural colors. I thought they were kind of springy. I was going to go with pastels, and then all of a sudden it just turned into this, and I still think it's kind of springy, but it's woodland creatures, birds. This one is kind of like a Frenchscape. I think this is, yeah, Shinzi Kato illustration, and then this one is flower buds, like rose buds. I thought that worked. And then I've got a bunch of cute stickers, which I thought would go with it. So I got these cute bunnies, which I probably bought off of Rakuten. Some sticker flakes, Sumiko Garashi sticker flakes, also probably from Rakuten. These ones were from Chinatown here in the city. They're actually, I think they're Japanese. No, they must be Chinese. But they're a bunch of rabbit stickers in various types. And then these ones, I think I was given that, but they might have come from Chinatown as well. And these ones are Korean stickers of cute chubby bunnies. I really like bunnies, if you can't tell. It actually wasn't supposed to be a bunny theme, it just happened to be that I thought they all went together. I just really like bunnies. And then for my theme for manga that I'll be cutting up, I have What's Michael, which is a funny series about cats in various situations. I genuinely would recommend this title if you have never read it. This one was pretty beat up, and I have already used it in previous journals, so you know, this isn't like I'm cutting up something that's been previously damaged. And I'm also going to use Maison Ikkoku, which just feels like a really spring, summertime type read. This one's by Rumiko Takahashi. Both are good series. Hopefully this one will get a reprint, because it's been hard to track down a full series for us, and it's quite a good title. But I definitely, above the others, I would recommend What's Michael to just about any reader. It is a seinen manga, but it is just sort of a funny cat comedy, and the cats are, like, sometimes they're cats and sometimes they're like living the lives of humans. It's just really wacky and so much fun. I laugh out loud reading this one all the time, so it's a really good title, so that's kind of why I want to use it, because I just really enjoy it. So that's what I'll be pulling out, and now I'm going to get going, so we'll talk to you soon. the final result, which you have already seen. So I just made a header page because the page before it was actually quite messy, and so I didn't, you can see quite a lot of ghosting through it, and so I thought I'll just cover it with something so I don't see last month. And so it's just a picture from Maison Ikkoku, and I wrote Hello June. I did actually get this font idea from a website, which I seem to have lost. It was from a website called Little Miss Rose, and so that was basically where the dots idea came from, and this stripy design came from. So I do tend to reference things, otherwise I just use my own handwriting, font. And then I just covered it with stickers to fill the space because, you know, why not? I have a lot of stickers. I'm going to plaster it. I didn't end up using too many of the stickers. I thought I would use more. I might still put something here at the bottom. And then this is just what I usually use every month. So it's my calendar. I list out what kind of events, birthdays, things that I have scheduled. Tasks, these are just sort of like my main priorities for the month, and then just sort of some big ticket item things I'd need to buy. This does not include like groceries. And then of course some more pictures. I thought actually that this turned out not too bad, although I'm kind of disappointed I used this marker because it didn't really match this. I should have used that marker, and if I didn't use that marker it looks different on here. You really could tell the difference though between the Maison Ikkoku and the What's Michael comics, the coloring, and the Maison Ikkoku. It looked kind of like it was an okay shape, but then when you started cutting it out, I was like, ooh, this is really yellowed. I did kind of add some color to this picture. I've done it before, and I don't know why, but I just kind of like the look of it. I like that there's a little bit more color, because otherwise I really am just looking at a yellowed picture, so that's just something I like to do. And then next page is my expenses, so this is just where I track everything I bought every day. I'm not filling this out very much, so I really only need the one page. And then my woodland washi tape here at the bottom. More pictures from Maison Ikkoku. So this is my spring cleaning tracker. It's not really spring cleaning, it's just that a project that I have for this month is to do something every day, and there's some days where I'm so overwhelmed with how much there is to do that I just sit on the couch and do nothing. And especially since it's spring and pretty much spring is over, I'm supposed to be in the yard, which is one of the tasks that I hate the most, is cleaning my yard. This is just sort of to encourage me that I need to be either cleaning something inside or cleaning something outside every day, and so I just want to make sure that I'm writing it down, just sort of like one task that may be as little as like vacuuming a room or dusting, or, you know, cleaning windows or something, or, you know, just going outside for half an hour and pulling up, you know, dead plants from the fall or from winter. So just to spend a little bit of time every day. And then I've got a meal tracker. I still have pencil everywhere, so I will erase that. My meal tracking, so this is my other project that I want to be, see how long I can kind of go without eating out at lunch. I've been pretty good, and I was really good for several months this year, and then this last month I've just been eating out so much because I hadn't really been following my plans. So I just want to, you know, be tracking that I'm making food for myself. And then I thought that what would be nice about this is that I would have a list of meals that I could make for myself later on in the year when I get bored. I do think though that now that the weather has started to get warmer, there won't be a lot of cooking going on. So most of what I'm going to be tracking is, you know, sandwiches. This is my usual what I read, but I'm not doing a big overall TBR because of that notebook that I showed you. Oops. The notebook that I showed you at the beginning. That was dumb. Which has my full TBR in it. So this is just kind of a listing of everything I read and when I read it, so that I can keep track. Although I do track in multiple ways. And pictures again from What's Michael. This is a really great comic. It's basically a Planet of the Apes, only it's Planet of the Cats, and so the girl has been captured, and so she's being forced to participate in a circus. It was quite a funny episode. And this one is Mini Michael's first heartbreak, so he's crying while he eats. I thought that was appropriate for meal tracking. And then the next one, I put the days of the weekend wrong, so I had to fix that. And this is my July, August, this is YouTube planning. So I'm not going to get ahead of myself and put 6 months in because I don't know that there's 6 months left in this book. So I'm just going to keep putting the next 2 in. So this one is going to be July, August, and then when I get to the end of August, I'll put September, October, just so that I don't waste pages in here. Like, I don't really care if I waste pages, but I think that this 2-month ahead tracking will work. And that's pretty much all I put in so far, although I did put some little washi tape here on the edge of this page, just so that when I am looking in this book, because it's a page that I reference frequently, then I can find it easier. I don't actually have any other pages with washi tape, so this is something that I was thinking that I could do if I make less than 6 months at a time. So that's pretty much all I've got for my bullet journal for this month. I will have other pages, I'm sure. You know, I'm going to do probably readathons. I actually have a big list of pages that I want to do, but it just didn't make sense to do them yet. I am just running out of my expense tracking, so I'm going to have to start making some more pages for expense tracking, but that's not really very interesting to look at because it's certainly, well, not for me anyway, there's certainly no pictures on it. And I also, I have quite a lot of video ideas planned, and so I will be making pages for that, but then again, like, that's not really something I want to do until I actually am planning those videos, so I think that's pretty much everything that I want to do for now, and I'm fairly happy with it. It's kind of okay. This is sort of what happens when you don't really plan what you're gonna do ahead of time. So yeah, it's okay. I'm not actually in love with this heading at all. I'm not sure that was actually a good idea, but doesn't matter. Next month will be a new month and I can try something else then. So that's it for June. That's what my bullet journal looks like. Let me know if you also are doing a bullet journal, and let me know if you've ever read What's Michael. If anyone has ever read that, let me know down below. I think that's it for me today, so thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.